Cam Newton is now forced to be out for 5 days, okay? Because he left the facility, got some tests done, and then they didn't know about a certain little asterisk in the NFL and NFLPA's agreement for the COVID situation. He now has to go through an entire clearing process to get back in the building. The tests were allegedly confirmed and set up by the New England Patriots. They sent their starting quarterback, right? That's what we've been told. Josh McDaniels said it, Bill said it, Bill said it. Everybody's saying Bill Belichick said it. The starting quarterback of the New England Patriots was allowed to leave in the middle of this COVID protocol to go get tests elsewhere, was COVID tested every single day out there, got negative tests the entire time. Then when he came back, there was a misunderstanding. They didn't know that he had to be on the sideline or quarantined away from everybody for 5 days. I might have too much respect for the New England Patriots.
No.
I might be a person that holds Bill Belichick's big-ass brain in too high of regard.
No. You should.
I might be thinking that the New England Patriots would never, ever, ever in a million years allow their starting quarterback to leave the building not knowing that he's not going to be able to practice for 5 days whenever he comes back in. There is no way the New England Patriots didn't know this. Now, everybody's coming out and saying, it is a little asterisk in there. It's in the entire agreement. This is the New England Patriots we're talking about. Greatest general manager of all time. Greatest head coach of all time. Mm-hmm. They're always thinking ahead so much so everybody says they're cheating all the time. They're the evil empire because they're smarter than everybody. Situational football. And you're telling me in this situation, they let their starter out of the building and then say, we didn't know that you had to go to jail for 5 days.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, you're in the middle of a quarterback competition with a guy we drafted in the first.
No. Sorry.
No, we love Cam. Cam's really, we love everything about you bring to the team. No.
God.
Yeah, you're in the middle of a real competition. Everybody's asking me that because the other guy's doing pretty good, but so are you. Hey, last year you kind of got COVID, got fucked over, couldn't really do anything. You're coming back. You said, I ain't going out like that. You do your whole thing. You're back. You're the starter, and now you got to go to jail for 5 days in the middle of training camp while we're trying to make a decision who's starting quarterback and everything. Trying to get better.
No.
Sorry, Cam. At Boston Connor, representative of the massholes in the New England Patriot fan base. They did this on purpose.
No, that would never happen. You just said, hey, the Patriots are unbelievable at situational football, correct? Situational COVID is a whole different animal. I think there are a lot of asterisks that people don't really know about, and he tested negative every single day. It's very confusing what really went on here, so I don't understand completely why he's not playing, but joint practices this week too with the Giants. Not a good time to miss.
Just real quick, I would like to make it clear that I do not believe that the Patriots, people have been saying this and probably do believe this and would believe this because this is something that is believable coming from the New England Patriots organization with the way we've all held them in such high regard at winning at all costs, do whatever you got to do. Just like that's why conspiracies, go.
Of course.
Right. Because it's like, could be fucking real.
Wait a minute.
Could be fucking real. Well, you know what could be fucking real? Bill Belichick with his big-ass brain talking to that staff, Matt Patricia and boys, and go, how do we do this PR-wise? How do we not piss off Cam? How do we get? It's believable that they knew that he was going to have to go to jail and not come back because that's what the Patriots are. I don't think they did that.
No,
I think this is actual misunderstanding. And if he got tested every single day and he was negative, and he comes back and he tests negative 2 more times, it's like, did we hear, is there a new thing about COVID being dormant for that many days whenever you're passing tests, daily tests? I don't know. I don't know if we know enough to be doing this, but I know Cam Newton's getting fucked here.
Yeah, did it have something to do with because he left and went to something that it was team approved, but it wasn't in like the facility, and I don't know what his vaccination status is, but like if that changes then when you come back in. But to your point, like I thought early, like, oh yeah, they definitely do this on purpose, but Bill doesn't seem like they wouldn't want Cam to miss a week's worth of practice.
No. Even if he was going to be their backup.
Yeah, exactly. So like to do it, in like a move where it's like, okay, now we can have Max start. Like I was like, okay, there's no way that they actually did this on purpose.
The internet is, that's going to gain steam all day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's going to gain heavy steam all day today thinking about it. And I would like to go on the record, although I led this entire thing off with, maybe I respect them too much.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all. And hey, look, the internet's ablaze about Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson and what happened with them too. But Cam Newton's coming off his best game of all time. Okay?
Classic deflection, by the way. The most New England thing of all time. Great move. I do not believe they did this on purpose. I think this is something that maybe was a new protocol that had 200 pages on it that they didn't necessarily see. Or I assume there's somebody in the building that's supposed to know all that shit, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody
They had
fucked
like
up
a
here.
Well,
COVID compliance officer or something like that's his only job is stuff like this.
Yeah, somebody had to fuck this up. This isn't, unless the NFL is just creating this to try to force. Is that what New England Patriots fans are saying?
No, the wheels are turning right now. Maybe this is to get Ernie Adams back in the building. Like, hey, Ernie, we missed something here that you would have picked up. We need you back now so this doesn't ever happen again.
Because Ernie was the guy stealing the signals and stuff?
No, he wasn't stealing the signals. He was on the field. He was on the field before being like, oh, that QB stinks. He can't throw it to his left, so we're going to not cover on the left side of the field and we'll cover on the right side of the field. Don't put that on Ernie Adams ever.
No, that's what everybody says.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Obviously, the reason why they were getting the Spygate stuff was so they could fill the Rain Man that's up on the top of the stuff so then he could see it and just dissect it very quickly. I mean, if that's what they're doing, everybody's looking for an Ernie Adams. There's 31 teams looking for Ernie Adams. I want to let you know. That little pairing of Ernie and Bill is something that, Ernie doesn't talk much, I guess, although he's been in a couple of those docs. What a fucking tag team they were.
Unbelievable. And
Cam Newton, 5 days out. Patriots didn't know about this. How did they not know about this? Is there a COVID person that's supposed to know about this? What is going to unfold next, especially if he doesn't have COVID? Let's get him back out there. What are we doing?
As far as I know, he does not have COVID, but that's actually not what this is about. So, there are different rules for players who are vaccinated and unvaccinated.
Okay.
Cam, as we learned today, and we sort of had an idea because he's been wearing masks in interviews and other places, but Cam is unvaccinated. That is what we learned today. Because we know that because he essentially was gone away from the facility for a day for an appointment for a reason. I believe, but I'm 100% sure that the team was aware of this on some level. He, I believe, got tested somewhere else, not realizing that you needed to be tested at the facility in the NFL's specific testing program. So basically what happened is Cam missed a test. Even though it seems like he tried to do the right thing, he still, quote-unquote, missed a test. Because he is not vaccinated, he now has a 5-day entry period like anyone else who leaves a facility or misses a test. So he is not going to be able to be back in the building until Thursday, which means that Mac Jones got all of the first-team reps today at practice.
Hell yeah.
So, Ian, do you think are the Patriots saying, did they think Cam would be back in time to get tested at Foxborough, or the fact that he got tested off-site? They had to know, hey, if you're not back here, if you miss a test, it's not good for you.
I don't know exactly who knew that he was getting tested elsewhere. I do believe the Patriots knew that he was headed somewhere else, a place as yet undetermined and unnamed. But I don't know specifically if the Patriots knew he planned to get tested elsewhere. Teams have had basically every team has an expert who is in charge of COVID, right? So these people know the rules. Now, sometimes things fall through the cracks. Sometimes not everyone's aware of everything. It's the same thing with players who, some players cheat and get busted. Some accidentally cheat and get busted. This is sort of like a player who accidentally takes a supplement and goes, oh, man, I could have just called, but I didn't realize, and now I'm suspended. This seems to be more of an oversight than something egregious. But still, away for 5 days with Mac Jones getting his reps, that's not something that, I think for the Patriots, it's probably not a huge deal. For Cam, it's not a good thing at all.
Bill Belichick definitely wants his two best quarterbacks on the team during training camp, but this is definitely much more devastating for Cam Newton in his quarterback competition that is very topical with Mac Jones, who has looked good, but Cam has looked very good as well. Yeah, it's hard for me to believe, Ian. It's hard for me to believe that this was overlooked, and especially with, I don't know. I have so much respect for the Patriots. I have so much respect for Cam. I feel like Cam's been around the NFL, especially in this COVID protocol world with how strict everything is, let alone everything else with drug testing. You get tested by one company. I don't know. I feel like this is going to cause a lot of conspiracy fodder, but let's move along